College football time, a tough weekend for Michigan going on the road to Oklahoma, falling to number 23 in the latest AP poll. You went to the game.
Yep.
Right? From your vantage point in the stands. I mean, how was your trip? How was your trip? Hopefully, aside from the football, it was good.
Thank you. It was a nice trip, yes.
That's good.
The football was bad.
The football was bad.
Yes. And it looked every bit as bad in person as it did on TV. Yeah, not a lot good to go from. I honestly felt like I was just watching the 5th through 8th quarters of Michigan yesterday as the Lions were on, because it was a lot of like no ability to run the ball.
Justice Haynes had a 75-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, and if you take out that scramble drill run by Justice Haynes, there was not a lot of.
Well, Donovan McCulley had a nice catch over the back of somebody's head.
Yep. Yep. When you can sit at the table and quickly identify
the
two plays,
yeah, that's usually a bad sign.
Do you think that was to be expected with this Michigan team, though, going on the road with a challenging opponent? Oh, by the way, you have a true freshman quarterback and a lot of receivers who are still getting used to it.
I think everybody should have expected Michigan to lose that game, but it's more of the way you lost it. Michigan can afford to lose to Oklahoma and still, make a playoff, make a run at the Big Ten. But after seeing what that game looked like, especially because it's not like Michigan was emphatic against New Mexico the first week. So, yeah, I didn't come away from that game feeling like this is really a playoff contender. More of like a 8-4, 7-5 is what I came away with.
Yeah, who are they?
I don't know.
A read option team that, gets 3 yards and can throw the ball 5 yards down the field. Bryce Underwood had two deep balls?
He had the one to Samaj. Yeah, one to Samaj.
There was his first pass of the game where he was wide open, and then the McCulley play where he caught the ball over the defender's back. That was it. They don't have. How are they going to get the ball downfield?
He is a true freshman.
Yes.
Do you think that Bryce Underwood just needs to? They need to let him loose and be him.
I am not going to do the thing that a lot of fans are doing, which is that Bryce Underwood can do no wrong. But I don't think the slice of the pie where this game is on him is very, very small to me. They did not set him up for success one bit.
The first half, not at all.
I mean, the way that game was called, the way that Michigan failed to run the ball, the way that Michigan struggles to protect, it's all feeling a lot like last season. I mean, those last 2 wins against Ohio State and Alabama erased a lot of warts from people's minds last season, but most of the season really stunk. And most of what I saw in Oklahoma looked just like last season. I mean, it felt like they were calling plays like they thought Alex Orji was still back there. And, Bryce Underwood needs to be put in a position to succeed. He doesn't need his teammates and his coaching staff to be the ones providing another obstacle. So an extremely discouraging game from Michigan, and it really didn't have a lot to do with
So what
Bryce.
you're saying is you want to see Bryce Underwood just go out there and cut it loose?
You did what you did to get him there. And you acknowledged that last year you basically tried to play football without a quarterback. So now you've got him here. So now
he can get the ball down the field. He can get the ball down the field. We saw that.
Let him make no turnovers yet. That's awesome. Let him make a mistake though. They're playing.
How else are you going to learn?
So safe.
How else are you going to learn?
So
you don't have
safe.
a preseason.
They're not letting him run. We heard for 3 years about how JJ runs were coming, and we'll break it out when we need it, and it rarely happened. I mean, there were a few instances. So he's not being allowed to make plays with his feet. He's not being really allowed to throw the ball downfield. Now, part of that's the offensive line. But it's like, why did you focus so much of your offseason on getting this guy if you're not going to let him be who you think he can be?
How effective is the read option if you know he's going to hand it off every time?
Yeah, and honestly, that, like I said, that has been a sentiment that I've felt for so many years with Michigan football. And Bryce Underwood is not really a dual threat QB. He's not a running quarterback. He's more of a passer who can run. So I'm not asking him to be, Denard Robinson out there.
No.
But the threat of running,
your legs to actually maneuver in the pocket.
Look what Oklahoma did.
I was going to say, Mateer was not
for most of the game, he was not running often, but the threat of the run was a factor. And then at the end of the yes, exactly. And then in the end of the game, when it was closing time, he closed.
Yeah. Also, still true freshman. They probably don't want to give him too much, but I think for Michigan fans, they're slowly getting to a point of you want to see what number 19 can do.
Yeah, because if you don't, this is what the team is.
Yeah.
If you don't let him make mistakes, this is not a great football team.
How hard is it to defend that offense? It doesn't feel like it would be.
What are they good at? What are they good at?
Right. What are you building on?
Right.
For the rest of the season, what are you building on?
Well, a team that did look good on Saturday was Michigan State. Went into double overtime with Boston College. They lost that game in the fourth quarter last year. Aiden Childs thought he was hurt, thought he was leaving the game, comes back in overtime and wins it. Your thoughts on Aiden Childs, and is this kind of what we could see from him moving forward?
Give the Nick Marsh take.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
so I said before the show, I think Nick Marsh is probably the best college football player in the state, right? Like, he looked really good. They have to figure out ways moving forward to get him the ball more. If not, it's kind of just wasting having one of the best athletes in the country on your team. And Childs looked like he can get him the ball. So with that being said, the defense was atrocious. They 28
Give up
points,
40 points? Yeah.
28 points in the first half, and that was with a turnover on the first drive at the goal line. Could have been 35 points in the first half. That needs to be fixed. And it's not like Boston College is some juggernaut on offense.
They put up 500-something yards of offense. I mean, they were one of the best offenses in college football last year, but a lot of moving pieces.
Different quarterback.
To your take with Nick Marsh, having Omari Kelly on the field, the transfer that they got helps him tremendously to have a guy that can take the top off of a defense so Marsh can do the
Maybe he's the
stuff.
second best player in the state, honestly, from what we've seen so far.
Dalvin McCauley still had a good catch, man. Come on.
A catch.
Yeah, a
He had
catch.
a catch.
Here's what I'll say about Michigan State. At the very least, we can say they have an identity. Like, you know what Michigan State is good at. Like, I can watch that game and be like, wow, this passing attack, like, with these big receivers is, like, really dangerous. And if they're going to go and win a big game, that's how they're going to do it. So, yeah, I think this was a big win for Michigan State. The Boston College game was one that we had kind of circled on the teetering edge of, like, will Michigan State make a bowl game? Now I think they can set their sights a little bit higher. From what we've seen so far, it's like, okay, we are probably good enough to make a bowl game. Where can we go from here? And I think that's fair.
And they have Youngstown State coming up before they jump into Big Ten play. That's going to be against USC at 11 p.m. Eastern time. That should be pretty good in a couple of weeks. And Michigan has Central Michigan without Sherrone Moore for the next two games. So we'll see how that turns out for the Wolverines.
Michigan might watch out this week.
We are all out of time, though. We'll discuss it on next week's edition of DSP. For Derek, for Ian, I'm Hobie. We'll see y'all next time.